right. Oh boy, what a long day it's been. Me and my boys at RW Podcast, we had a long day. We took care of Royal Rumble pay-per-view and another show that I'm not going to mention at the moment. It's 2:13 in the morning, and I got to get this random ass daily match review. So the RWs Old Guy is back at it. Got to get it done, right? Daily product. Gotta happen. All right, so this match, to me, after I watched it a few times and got the nuances of it down, realized that like sometimes matches like this has a lot of subtlety to it. There's a lot of layers to this match that maybe a casual viewer may not see, or that someone who is too hard-headed to understand why a man like Marko Stunt deserves his place in professional wrestling. Yeah. I may not be a huge mark for Marko Stunt, but I definitely respect him for doing what he's going to be doing for however long his career lasts in professional wrestling. I'm gonna go in more in depth on my opinions and feelings about that in the aftermath. But so in this match review, we have MJF versus Marko Stunt. It's at a show for it's at a show called Defining Moment. It takes place. And I'm sorry. The company is AAW. I don't have the acronym on me right now. I'm already recording, so I don't really feel like Googling it. And the show is called Defining Moment, and it takes place on August 31st, 2018, at the Logan Square Auditorium in Chicago, Illinois. All right, so the video starts with both men in the ring, and there's a bit of a back and forth on the mic between these two guys. So I'm going to go ahead and just give out some of the highlights of that, because MJF on the mic is so entertaining, and I don't mind repeating it to you because it's so much fun. Okay, so MJF starts off by saying, "Cut the music." And a Marko chant breaks out. Marko is so over in this building. I don't know if it's just him in a region or what. I'm not sure how long he's been wrestling at this point. But he's so over. Okay. So the crowd is just chanting for Marko, and MJF is just looking around trying to make sense of it all, right? He just looks like he has a little bit of like a really look on his face. And he starts to talk, and Stunt cuts him off. And he says, "I don't know if you've ever experienced it in your life. I know your mother isn't proud of you, but that's what it sounds like to be over." And the crowd gives him a pop for that. MJF responds by, "Well, this is the perfect symbolism of everyone in here's IQ. Really small." So MJF says, "Come on in the ring." And Stunt takes his shirt off. And MJF says, "Oh, Jesus Christ." Because Marko Stunt is a small person. Jeez Louise. Marko chant breaks out again as he's getting ready to get into the ring. So during this little Marko chant, Stunt does a little bit of dancing during this chant, and MJF says, "I've never seen a full-grown fetus move like that." It's really impressive. Great stuff. I love MJF. MJF follows up with, "Allow me to take it down to your level, Marko," and he goes down to one knee. MJF continues, You were just like everyone else here. You're white trash." MJF continues, "If you can beat me in a test of strength, I'll let you wrestle me for my spot in the tournament." So they get ready to start the test of strength, but MJF keeps raising his hand up so Marko Stunt can't reach it. Good heel stuff here. MJF says, "Hey, look, I'm sorry, but you have to be this tall," and he puts his hand up by his head to wrestle MJF. Stunt responds with, "Oh, it's funny that you say that I have to be tall for anything. I was tall enough to fuck your mom." Crowd pops huge. The crowd chants, "Holy shit." And MJF responds with, "Oh, yeah, give it up for Marko and his great joke." And then MJF hits Marko Stunt with the microphone, and the match begins. Okay. MJF throws Stunt out of the ring. MJF fakes doing a tope and says, "Psych!" And he says, "I don't need this shit to get over." Marko Stunt climbs up the apron and says, "I still fucked your mom." Crowd pops. MJF charges Stunt after that comment, and Stunt low bridges him, and MJF bumps to the floor. Stunt hits a running kick to MJF on the apron. Stunt hits a Dragon Rana on MJ to the floor. The crowd chants, "Fuck him up, Marko, fuck him up." Back in the ring, Stunt goes to the top rope, and MJF rolls to the opposite corner. Marko's gonna kill you. Chant breaks out. MJF hits Stunt with a clothesline. Marko fucked your mom. Chant breaks out. MJF throws Stunt into the ring post, injuring his arm. MJF goes after that left arm. He's your dad. Chant breaks out. MJF responds to the crowd with "I'm still better than you." MJF continues after Stunt's left arm. Stunt punches MJF in the face a few times. MJF pulls Stunt by his hair and follows up with a powerbomb. Nice 2 count. MJF, I'm all of yours, daddy, to the crowd. A watch your language chant breaks out for some reason. MJF puts Stunt on the top rope, and Stunt responds with a Hurricanrana. Looked really good. Stunt continues to keep selling his arm. Really good stuff here. I love it. Good job. Stunt with a drop kick to MJF, followed by another drop kick. MJF blocks the third attempt at a drop kick and attempts a back suplex, but Stunt flips out of that back suplex. MJF charges at Stunt, and Stunt dodges, and MJF goes chest first into the corner. Stunt performs a sunset flip, but flips out of the pin, and then kicks MJF in the face. Got a nice 2 count. It looked like a V trigger, which the announcer would call a lowercase V trigger. I thought that was kind of funny. Crowd claps for Marko. Marko's so over, and he's doing a really good job here. Marko still selling the arm again with the good job. Stunt charges at MJF in the corner, and he kick flips off of MJF's chest and follows up with a forearm to MJF's jaw. Still selling the arm, and I love it. And MJF actually hits a double stomp to Stunt's left arm, continuing that story. I love it. It's a great story. MJF hits a twisting Death Valley driver to Marko Stunt. Nice 2 count. MJF has the best facials. Like after Stunt kicked out, he just has this look like, oh my god, I can't believe it. Like what did it take? As a result of that kick out, a Marko chant breaks out. Then MJF exhibits some hubris. He starts like this little play kicking and this is like pie facing Marko Stunt while Marko Stunt was on the mat. We get a boo yay spot for about 3 or 4 for about 10 seconds, maybe like 2 strikes for each guy. Obviously, the yay goes to Marko Stunt. Stunt takes down MJF by the legs and then pummels MJF with a bunch of punches to his face. MJF spits on Stunt. MJF catches a kick from Stunt. Stunt kick flips out of that. Stunt flips out of that, but MJF responds by raking Stunt's eyes. After MJF rakes Stunt's eyes, he says to Stunt, "Great flip, dipshit." Stunt hits MJF with a super kick. MJF responds with a spinning elbow. MJF attempts a clothesline, and Stunt flips under it. And then Stunt would leap to MJF's shoulders, and Stunt goes for a reverse Rana, and MJF would reverse that into an electric chair. At this point, both wrestlers are down on the mat. Stunt goes for a 2 count, Stunt goes for a pin and gets a 2 count. MJF locks in an armbar, and Stunt escapes the armbar. MJF attempts a tilt-a-whirl suplex, but Stunt reverses it into a pop-up code breaker. Stunt goes to the top rope, and he takes a long time. He starts hyping up the crowd, and it will cost him. Stunt goes for a 450 and misses. And then MJF will lock in the armbar again, and at 10 minutes, 37 seconds, Stunt has to tap out. Okay. So this match was really good. It's not the best of all time. I'm sure both these guys will have better matches or have had better matches, but it was a great story told. The injured arm led to the finish. The David and Goliath was the main story. Like little guy against the big guy and all that stuff. And they told that it was a spot on execution of that story. It was really good. Good job, guys. Great job with the selling and the bumping. MJF made Marko's the strikes that he got in, the moves that he got in, he made them look impactful. and that makes this match really, really, and that elevated the match. And not to mention Marko Stunt selling the arm throughout the match, which again led to the finish. I think this is the first time I've seen Marko in a singles match. I think I've seen him with the Jurassic Express a number of times, but I don't think I ever saw him on his own. So this is the first time I've seen him in a match, in a singles match, and I can see why AEW signed him. I mean, for real. You watch this match and you can see why. He looked good. He looked crisp. He was quick. He didn't look like he fumbled over anything. But his character is obviously someone who's like a little bit immature. Was he again when he hyped the crowd up? He should have been going for his 450, but he didn't. And so I can see why his character is what it is, and that may be the only thing he can do. But for now, I see why AEW signed him. Hell of a match. I gave it 8. They both bumped for each other, and like I said, the selling for the arm was good, which played in the finish, and I can't emphasize selling enough. Okay, so I want to talk about something here real quick. And this is the kind of match that has the trope of wrestling that shows up from time to time, and that's the little guy versus the big guy, the David versus Goliath match. Okay, so the little guy has to be quick and smart, right? He has to pick his spots because he can't just overpower his opponent. So there is not much need for power if you're that small as there is for strategic strikes and picking your spots and all that. These kind of matches have existed for decades, so I don't understand why anyone gives Marko Stunt crap for being this small, and I don't understand why anybody in these comments below this match on YouTube were giving MJF shit for selling for a guy like Marko Stunt. I mean, take Andre the Giant, right? He's a legend. It might be the most legendary wrestler ever. Anyone against Andre had severe weight disadvantage, a height disadvantage, and a strength disadvantage. So what is the difference between a match like Andre the Giant and Randy Savage, for instance, versus Stunt versus MJF? And I'm going to give you the answer. Absolutely nothing, okay? Andre is sold for guys like Tito Santana, Randy Savage, and Jake Roberts, among others. And there's no way any of these guys could punch Andre to where it would hurt him, period. There's no way. They could punch him 10,000 times, and he would probably just laugh at them for every single time they hit him. And do you know why Andre sold for these wrestlers? Because the matches they would be in together would be horrible. If he didn't sell anything, these matches would suck. And you know what happens when matches suck, right? Nobody gets over. So, and you know when nobody gets over, nobody wants to watch the product. So that's why Andre sold. He had a big picture mentality. He had to make money. The only way to make money is to have good matches. And it's the same here with Marko Stunt and MJF. It takes a professional and confident worker like MJF to sell for a wrestler as small as Marko Stunt. MJF put his ego aside, said we can have a great match over and over again if I sell for you enough to make it look just believable enough that a small guy can overcome the odds and win the match. And that's what he did. He bumped around for Marko Stunt. And MJF is so much of a confident worker and a professional that this will not make him look weak. And does it look weak on AEW? No way. If you decide that MJF looks weak as a result of him selling for a small wrestler like Marko Stunt, then you are basically shitting on any wrestler like Andre the Giant, for instance, who put in the effort to get his opponents over. I'm talking about decades of putting over smaller wrestlers, and honestly, that's unacceptable. Unacceptable. Size in wrestling should not matter that much. Take Scott Hall / Razor Ramon. Remember him, the bad guy? You know him, right? He put over who would become the 1-2-3 kid in X-Pac. And did Razor Ramon lose any credibility for that? Absolutely not. Take anything Andre the Giant did for like Jake Roberts. Jake Roberts has zero muscle tone at this point. He was told to like not build muscle because he was supposed to be a heel, right? And so he looked kind of, he had a pot belly. He had no muscle tone in his arms. And you know what Andre did? He still sold for him. He made it look like Jake Roberts had a chance because you know in real life Jake Roberts couldn't even touch Andre the Giant, much less try to beat his ass, right? And did Andre lose anything from that? Absolutely not. Not a thing. And the same thing with MJF. Kudos to him for letting Stunt look good in this match, and not to mention making Stunt look good in a loss, which is just as important as winning a match. So I'm going to put this idea of a wrestler being too small to be considered a legit and competitive wrestler to rest for good. Done. I'm not going to talk about it in that vein. You want to bring up this whole thing? We can talk about the style of match that it is. The style of match is David versus Goliath that will always come up over and over again, and is a great and effective way to get people over. The freaking Davids of wrestling should never be shamed at all. Ever. So let's put this discussion, or let's end this discussion right here, right now. This is the first time, no more talk of Stunt being a midget. I don't care. These stupid comments on this YouTube video are ridiculous. No more talk of MJF being weak because he sold for a smaller wrestler. No more talk that you have to have power behind your strikes. Just stop it. It's useless. No one is saying Stunt will ever win a heavyweight title. Not one. I don't think he will. Obviously because of his size, and there's no way anyone would believe think he could beat somebody like say Roman Reigns, for instance. There's no way, and I understand that. But that motherfucker can go and have good matches, and that's the whole point, right? As proved in this match, Marko Stunt is a valuable commodity to anyone who signs him, whether it's AEW, whether it's Ring of Honor, NWA, WWE, or whatever. Just give him a role. He can perform. This match proves it, you know? So Marko Stunt has a place in professional wrestling, and pros like MJF will be the reason why. And congratulations on this match to both of those guys and all the matches these two will have in the future. Thank you. Good night. End of story. I'm going to bed.